Hello and welcome to a reading vlog. It is currently Wednesday. During the reading rush, it began Monday. However, I haven't been able to vlog because I was hospitalized Monday for too low of a blood percent. So I had to go to the hospital to get some blood transfused. That's why I haven't been able to vlog or read that much. I'm back home, I'm better and doing what my doctor says. I still managed to do some reading the past couple of days. I started The Invasion by Peadar or Guilín. I'm not far into this, but I'm a couple pages in. This is my pick for the first book that you touch. And then I've been also listening to the audiobook of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. I have listened to the first 3 stories, I think. So I have 9 stories left. And then as you saw earlier, I started the audiobook of How to Cheat a Dragon's Curse while I was out walking with my dog, since my doctor recommended that I also do exercise. I am 1 hour into the audiobook, so I have a little over 2 hours left. I'm on chapter 7 and really loving it. It's just a very nice and cozy read to listen to, especially with David Tennant narrating the story. But yeah, that is what I've been reading. I haven't finished the book yet. As I said, I haven't been able to read that much. However, I am ready to get into it now. And there was also the Reading Rush Instagram challenges about story challenges. I did both of them, the Draw Your Current Read and the Reading Rush Gift Challenge. I also did that one. You can insert it here. It's currently 7 p.m. so I'm gonna go and fix myself some dinner and then probably read some more of The Invasion before I go on my daily walk. Dogs. So as for a little reading update, I managed to listen to about an hour of the audiobook of How to Cheat a Dragon's Curse. So I have 1.5 hours left, so I will probably be able to finish that one tomorrow or the day after. And as you saw, I read some more of The Invasion, and I am on page 78. And honestly, so far I am so intrigued to be back in the world. It was such an interesting world to begin with. Like with the first book, The Call, it was like an interesting concept, and this one just takes it further and develops the world even more. I haven't talked about what this book is about. This is the sequel to the book The Call, which is set in Ireland. It's a dystopian where there's this thing called the Call, where every teenager from the age between 12 to 18 will be sent to what is called the Greylands, which is evil fate that will hunt you down, will kill you, or do something to your body to make it abnormally beautiful to their eyes, but for us it's usually something gruesome or ugly. In that book we follow Nessa is the main character. There's other characters who are important like Anto and Megan and other people, but we mainly focuses on Nessa, and she has a sort of disability where she can't walk properly, and that's why the society thought that she would die once she was called, so she was destined to always die because of her disability, but she fought on and tried to survive on her own. And spoiler alert for the ending of The Call, because in this book we also follow the same characters, mainly Nessa as well, but also Anto and some other new characters. And this is basically them back in Ireland. In this book we are following the aftermath of what happens in The Call, and it's so intriguing because it's developing the world more, even though it's set in Ireland and in like a modern day dystopian kind of way. It's so interesting to see what the author did with the world, like what would happen to the government and the nation when this kind of thing occurs. We get a military aspect, a prison aspect, and it just feels like, I don't know. I really love dystopians, and that's why this one is just, it's kind of fresh for all the other dystopians we're used to that, let's be honest, are kind of always following the same pattern, but this one, it just feels different, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm probably gonna read maybe 1 or 2 chapters more, and then I'm gonna stop because Zoe are hosting a live show at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For me, that is at midnight. So I'm gonna join that live show. Since there's technically no read-ins I can join, since I live in Denmark, or I've actually not researched if they're like hosting a read-in Zoom for people who live in Denmark. But anyways, I'm just gonna be joining Zoe and Ashley Stories for Coffee and This Story Ain't Over live show, and do some reading with them, along with them. I don't know what they've planned for the live show, but I'm just gonna check in and join. I think that's it for my plans for the rest of the night. Just read a bit more of The Invasion, join the live show, and then I've been waiting for Kayla from Books and Lala's vlog day 2 to come up, and I can see it's already up, so I'm just gonna watch that one too. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this evening. If I don't update you later, I will see you tomorrow.
Admittedly, I went a little too hard yesterday. I did too much. I didn't get enough sleep.
Today we are doing a read with us live show where we are going to be answering questions about the reading rush and just chatting. But most importantly, we are going to do some live reading sprints. And that means that we're gonna be reading on camera and you guys can join us.
Hello, it is Wednesday, almost 10 p.m. So today I was planning on actually doing more reading and just spending time doing that. But my friend ended up texting me and asked if we should hang out. So I of course said yes, because I haven't been able to see my friends that much ever since I got back from South Korea. I was quarantined for 2 weeks and then I got sick and we ended up playing Horizon Zero Dawn all day. I did cook some food, which we ate. It was very good. And yeah, she literally just left and it's 10 p.m. I did some reading though, just a little bit. I read 20 pages of The Invasion. I didn't go for a walk either because it's been raining all day. And I don't want to go out in the rain, to be honest. So my plan for the rest of the day is to read The Invasion. Try to finish The Invasion. I am a very slow reader, so I don't know if that's a possible goal, but I will at least try to almost finish it. I won't be mad if I don't finish it. It's okay. It's just goals for myself. They don't really matter to anyone else than me, so I don't care if I fail them or not. It's just something I prefer accomplishing. But first I'm gonna watch Layla's vlog. That is an unfortunate place I paused, but I don't know. I just love watching Kayla's vlogs. They are always so aesthetically pleasing and just so calming to watch. So I'm gonna finish watching that one. I literally just began, of course, but I'm gonna finish watching the vlog and then I'm gonna read some. Read a lot. Am I the only one who is like particularly loves acknowledgements, especially if the author like does something else than just thanking people? And like especially this one line here: finally let me express my appreciation and love for the entire population of Australia and New Zealand. I won't tell you why, but if any of my other readers ever meet anyone from down under, please buy them a coffee and tell them I sent you. Like, we don't know why, but I don't know, I just find that one, like, it's funny and I don't know. I love reading stuff like this in acknowledgements. And with that being said, I finished my first book of the readathon. I finished The Invasion. Since I just finished it, I'm not sure what I think about it. I'm still processing what happened. But it was a really enjoyable read and I was interested the whole time of what was happening. I will refrain from giving my final thoughts until I've figured out what they exactly are, but I am happy that I finally finished my first book of the readathon. Oh, and I've actually not done the Instagram story challenges, so I think let's just do them now. You can follow along while I do them. The Instagram story challenge for Wednesday is a reading rush check-in. So the first question is, how many pages have you read so far? 436. And what book are you currently reading? So I'm currently reading 2 books, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes and How to Cheat a Dragon's Curse. But I'm just gonna write The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, since I'm probably gonna finish the How to Cheat a Dragon's Curse today. I have only 1 hour and 15 minutes left, I think. And then, what is the first line of your current read? Let's see. The first line is, to Sherlock Holmes, she is always the woman. Talking, of course, about Irene Adler. And then the next question is, what challenge are you trying to accomplish right now? And I am reading The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes for the challenge to read a book in a genre that you've always wanted to read more of, and use a gift to share your current reading vibes. What are my current reading vibes? Vibes. Oh, this one. I think that one perfectly describes my reading vibes. I'm chill, but I'm still on fire. You know? I think that says something. And then the Instagram story challenge for yesterday, Thursday, is a reading rush this or that, brought to us by Owl Crate. So the first is Twitter sprint or reading on your own. I prefer reading on my own. I don't usually participate in a lot of reading sprints. And the next one is going with the flow or trying to do all of your challenges. I do both though, because I go with the flow, but while doing that I try to do all of the challenges. I think I lean more over trying to do all of the challenges, to be honest. I can't draw. Update your page count daily or keep forgetting to. I keep forgetting to, 100%. Vlogging your reading or keeping it to yourself. I am vlogging my reading, but usually I keep it to myself, but I'm just gonna do this for now since I'm actually vlogging. We will see if this actually turns out to be some kind of vlog. Who knows? Keep changing your TBR or sticking to it. I usually stick to it. Watching reading rush content or actually reading. I don't do much actual reading, or I haven't been the past 4 days. But we're gonna make up for that the next 3 days. Today, Saturday and Sunday is gonna be all about the reading. I think the Instagram story challenge isn't up for today yet, for Friday, since I live in Europe, so it's only like 12 p.m. in America right now. So I don't think they have put up the Instagram challenge thingy yet, so I'm just gonna wait to do that later. So now, since I finished The Invasion, I have to pick my next physical read, and I have the choice between That Sky Blue Feeling, The Prince and the Dressmaker, Skammerens Datter, or The Tea Dragon Society. So I think I'm gonna read The Prince and the Dressmakers, since I want to read a graphic novel that I will get quickly through. I just think that this will be a quick and wholesome read that I need after the horror and tension after the invasion. Luckily today there's no rain, so I'm gonna take the advantage and read some outside in the sun. Okay, I love this character. I know she's just some minor character to get the two main characters to know each other, but like, look at this dress and look at how she's owning it. Oh my god. Hello. I'm a prince who likes dresses. Beautiful. If you don't want spoilers for the prince and the dressmaker, look away now, because what? Oh my god, I like this is everything, okay? Everything. A king in title and soul. We love him. Oh yes you are. Five out of 5 stars. Oh, and just like how I love acknowledgements, I love to see the artist's progress during the telling of a graphic novel. It's just, I love the little insight we get to the making of the graphic novel. Well done. Well done, Jen Wang. Well done. It was beautiful. Me and Ben, we're gonna go out for a little walk, and the other dogs are not happy they're not joining, as you obviously can hear. Oh my god. Yeah.
12. Will Toothless save the day? Meanwhile, up on the roof, Toothless and One Eye had flapped off and hidden in the American Dream when they heard the noise of Hiccup falling into the onion soup, and the hysteric warriors charging outside to look for other assassins.
So I'm back from my walk. It is almost 10 p.m., which means the sun is going down. You can see the moon. And as predicted, I was able to finish How to Cheat a Dragon's Curse. I really enjoyed it. It was actually one of my favorites, I think. I read 4 of the How to Train Your Dragon series now. And it was almost at the same level as the first book, so I think it's gonna be a 4-star, but I don't know yet. I have yet to go through my rating system, which, by the way, I use the call pile system, which G from Book Roast created, and I don't know, I just love the spreadsheet and everything she gave us for free to use. But I am predicting it's gonna be a 4 stars, but I will tell you in the end of the vlog my final rating. As for my thoughts of the book, I just found this one quite funny, even though it was as serious as these children's books can get, but it was like high stakes, and I don't know, I enjoyed the whole the world is round, not flat aspect, and how they brought in America and the vegetable, the potato, as being like a magical vegetable, and just everything. It was quite funny and, I don't know, enjoyable to listen to, and I always love listening to David Tennant's voice, so I might be a bit biased to the audiobooks because of that, but nevertheless, it's great children's books, and that's what they are, and that's what I'm rating them as, children's books. They are not as profound and as developed as young adult or even adult fantasy, so you can't really compare them together. I really enjoyed it, and that marks my 3rd finished read of The Reading Rush. And I read that book for the prompt of reading a book completely outside of your house, and I managed to accomplish that challenge by going on walks with my dogs while listening to the audiobook. There's a little nest of birds over there, that's why the bird is like marking its territory, trying to get me and the doggos to go away. I am back on track, hopefully, and we'll continue to power through. Now I will probably take a bit of a rest and watch some Reading Rush vlogs. So while I've been watching all the Reading Rush vlogs, I've been updating my always fully booked planner, just putting in the books that I read this week. It is Saturday now and it is 2 p.m. And last night I picked up the Shamer's Daughter and read 70 pages of that. It's like 200 pages long, so almost halfway through. I am actually really enjoying it. I have come further than I remembered reading myself, so that's good. And I found it funny that I actually remembered what was gonna happen, even though it happened, like I read it such a long time ago, or like the first bit of it. It's weird reading in Danish after such a long time. I think the last time I read something in Danish was in high school, and that's long ago. And because this book is from 2000, I think, the formatting of Danish books is something that really bugs me and annoys me, and especially with the old ones, because when they're talking, it's pointed with arrows. There's big paragraphs, and it's just, it feels it feels like a task to read, but because I was used to reading books like this before, it also kind of feels nostalgic, along with the story making it feel nostalgic since I read it when I was younger. If you compare the writing format to Ravnenes Hvisken, which is a much newer book, I think it was published in 2018. The writing format is much more like the English version, but I don't think like all books are doing this. Like, I think it's just like the young adult books, and the adult books are still like in the old format, which really bugs me because I want to read more in Danish, because for me it's awkward to read in Danish since it's not my mother tongue. English isn't that either, but somehow I just surpassed that mindset. But reading Danish is still awkward for me, so I want to read more Danish stories so I can get comfortable with reading in Danish as well. This is still good, even though the formatting is really bugging me. And the writing style is also kind of old Danish literature, where they literally says everything they do. I don't know, stand up after you picked something up. They still describe it like, my mom picked this up and then she stood up and then she gave it to me. It's like that. And it's not good, but I can like read past it since it's the story I'm here for, and I'm used to being awkward reading Danish, so I'm giving a lot of, I'm being very loose with the writing style and the language in general. Yeah, those are my current thoughts on The Shamer's Daughter, and today's reading plan is to focus on finishing my audiobook of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. I have to clean the house today, so it fits perfectly. I can listen to that while I go around and clean. But I also needed to go to the store today, so I'm gonna do that after I finish eating my lunch. The shopping centers are open. You just have to have a distance between you and the other person. It's probably gonna be safe since people don't really go out that much. And I'm gonna be listening to The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes while I drive. It's a half-hour drive.
No ordinary one. None of those which come to me are. I am the last court of appeal. And yet I question, sir, whether in all your experience you have ever listened to a more mysterious and inexplicable chain of events than those which have happened in my own family. You fill me with interest, said Holmes. Pray give us the essential facts from the commencement, and I can afterwards question you as to those details which seem to me to be most important.
So I am back from the store. I managed to listen to 2 stories of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, The 5 Orange Pips, and The Man with the Twisted Lip. I managed to listen to 1 each way, and I ended up picking up a book in the bookstore, and that is Yes, No, Maybe So by Becky Al-Batali and Aisha Said. Aisha Said. I think that's how you pronounce her name. But yeah, this is one of my anticipated releases for 2020, and since I haven't bought any books other than Chain of Gold, because my bookstore is a Danish bookstore, we don't usually get a lot of English literature. It's just translated into Danish English literature, and it's less so frequent that we get new releases at the bookstore early. Like, I know this came out a while ago. It's still considered a new release here. I'm happy. And now I'm gonna make some coffee because I'm tired. It's almost 5 p.m. but I'm tired. So I'm gonna make some coffee, and I also bought some cookies while I was at the store. So I'm gonna drink some coffee, eat some cookies, and read a bit, I think, before I begin cleaning. I just finished The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, and I think it's a 4-star read. I appreciate that it's Watson narrating everything, but sometimes Watson just annoyed me in this one. Like, I have read The Sign of War and Study in Scarlet before, but The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes made me realize how annoying Watson is. I don't know why, but he kept commenting on women's appearance as charming and something that attracts him while he's married. It's weird. I don't know. That is just something I noticed. But however, reading The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes made me really appreciate Sherlock Holmes, I think. Like, I know he's an arrogant ass, of course. That is what makes him Sherlock Holmes, is that he's arrogant and clever and a show-off. But I just, throughout these 12 short stories, I realized that there's more to Sherlock Holmes. I really enjoyed how Arthur Conan Doyle just, with these short stories, also humanized Sherlock Holmes. Like, he is this clever person that knows everything or can deduct everything almost, to a point where you think, like, is this just fiction? Like, it is of course fiction, but beyond a reality belief and logical belief. But then you get stories where he is put down. Like, one of my favorite short stories in this collection is A Scandal in Bohemia. I really liked how he learned that even women can be clever too. Like, before that he thought that women only do this and that and is capable of this and that because of their, I don't know, what is it called, like their hysterics or their nerve, like the sensitive nerves. But in A Scandal in Bohemia, he learns that women all are also capable of being clever. And there's also a couple of other stories where he decides not to convict the criminal even though he committed the crime, because he either saw that the person was repenting or that the person would repent, or that putting them away in a prison or getting them convicted would not benefit society in the end, because the person actually didn't do any harm, but it's a crime. I don't know if I'm making sense, but yeah, I just really enjoyed how deftly we got into Sherlock Holmes's character in this book. However, there were 2 short stories in here that I really didn't like, which is probably why I'm only giving it a 4 stars. Only 4 stars, like a 4-star read is pretty high. But these stories were The 5 Orange Pipes and The Engineer's Thumb. So The 5 Orange Pipes deals with this mystery about KKK, and I really liked how Sherlock Holmes handled that. However, I just don't like the ending. It confused me. I didn't see the point of ending it like that. And the thing about The Engineer's Thumb is I didn't feel like there was any mystery in it at all. These 2 were 2 stars for me. So overall, that's why I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. Hello. I am now currently ready for bed. I'm gonna read some of The Shameless Daughter and probably fall asleep. It is Sunday, as you can see, it's day, and I finished The Shameless Daughter. Last night I read, so I would have around 60 pages left today to read, and all morning I have been focusing on finishing this, and I did. I don't know if I've actually told the plot of this book. It's about this 11-year-old girl named Dina. She is the shamer's daughter, and a shamer is a person who is able to make people feel shame for their wrongdoings by looking at them looking at their eyes, like having eye contact. They can make people feel shame for the things they've done, or see if they've done things they feel ashamed of. Her mom is called out on a shamer's task during the night. She usually comes home pretty fast afterwards, so when she's not home the next day, her and her big brother are worried. There comes a man who asks Dina to come with him because her mother has requested her to join her because she has the same powers as her mom's. So she's also a shamer herself, just not trained. And that leads to a couple of events. There's dragon in this, there's plot twist, there's betrayal. There's a lot of stuff, considering this is, I would consider this middle grade, and there's like a lot of gruesome stuff, both emotional and impactful while being so short. And for me it's awkward to like connect with a book that's written in Danish since I'm not used to reading in Danish. But I connected with Dina. She's 11 years old. But I still connected with Dina. I especially really like the relationship between her and Nicodemus, which is a person who is falsely accused of murder. That's all I'm gonna say. But their instant friendship is... I can't wait to read further into the series to see how it develops. But yeah, Those are my initial thoughts of the book, and now I'm gonna run it through Cowell, but I'm predicting a 4 stars. It is not a 3 stars. It felt higher than a 3 stars, but I wouldn't say it's a 5 stars since I still had a problem with the formatting and the language, but that's a personal barrier for me. Even though it's a personal barrier and it's not like the book itself, I can't completely at all judge this book objectively, because we as readers, we read non-objectively. What is that called? We are always gonna be biased with our opinions because we have different experiences, so we experience books differently. And being as it may, me being unable to fully connect with the language itself is a personal experience with the book. And the formatting as well. Even though I actually kind of liked it for the story, maybe it's because I already knew the story was told that way from when I read it so many years ago, so it was kind of nostalgic, but I don't know. I think it's gonna be a 4 stars, but let's see. Ja. Nu pratar de inte redan. Oh well. I just finished that Sky Blue Feeling and I was right. It was cute and wholesome. It reminds me of like the other manga that I've read. What is it called? I Hear the Sunspot. Even though that one is so much better, but this one was still cute and wholesome, and I think it's a 4 stars as well. Wow, there's been a lot of 4 stars in this vlog, hasn't there? I really enjoyed the journey a certain character takes in just in discovering himself and his sexuality. He hasn't discovered his sexuality yet in this book, but it's like there's a build-up to certain things happening, and it didn't end with something like that, even though you would expect it from a first volume. But yeah, I actually enjoyed how it was more down to earth, slice of life, and just about him and how things are okay with being being either way. There is a certain point where a character is introduced who is 26 years old, and he's an ex-boyfriend of one of the main characters. And keep in mind, they're in high school. 26. I found that a bit problematic when I figured it out. But the thing is, our character in this reacts in the same way. He's flabbergasted when he finds out that he's so old and that it's an ex-boyfriend with good reason. So I don't know how to feel about it. However, the person, like the 26-year-old himself, he's a nice guy and everything, but the way he is intertwined with the story just didn't feel 100% right. However, he does some things that are good, but could be taken the wrong way. And I think that's the main reason it didn't feel like a 5 stars, because that made me feel iffy, but I still really overall enjoyed the story because of like the beautiful way the book is trying to tell you that self-discovery is nothing to be ashamed of, and you're not weird, you are who you are, and everything like that. Chapter 1. Spring. Once upon a time, blacksmiths were as important as magicians. They made tools for healers to cure the sick, swords for adventurers to slay monsters, shoes to shod the hooves of working animals. The world was forged in iron. Once upon a time, Greta, are you listening? Yes, Mama. Please pay attention. Shaping hot swords is dangerous work, even for those of us with goblin blood, as well you know. Sorry, I will concentrate, I promise. You must wait for the exact right color. Do not let it get too hot or the sword will become weak. And then, strike. Mama, do people use swords anymore? I thought they were just in stories. Not so much these days. But they are beautiful objects and they have a history. But they don't do anything. Is this a way of telling me you are not interested in learning blacksmithing? No, I am. I want to learn from you, because you're the best at it. I'm very good. Your father seems to have no trouble selling my whip, even if people have no use for it. I'm happy you want to learn. You have a gift, Greta. You formed your pact with brick when you were just 6. That's true. If I had to describe my dogs as tea dragons, I would say that Shakira is a mix between Jasmine and a peppermint tea dragon, because she is elegant and beautiful, but she is so fucking needy. Oh my god. This one is 100% a Rebus tea dragon. Her name is Reska, by the way. And lastly, but not least, is my dog, Benny. Benny Ben Ben. And I would say he's a mix between Earl Grey and Ginger. Tea dragon, because he just, like, when he wants attention, he goes and gets it. But most of the time during the day, he will ignore you. So as you can tell, I finished the Tea Dragon Society and I loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. The art style is stunning. Like, it's probably the most beautiful art style I've ever seen in a graphic novel. The color scheme, the characters, the dragons, they are just... makes my opinion biased, but yes, because I just love beautiful art. And the story in itself was just so wholesome and good, and yeah, 5 out of 5 stars, definitely. And with that, I've finished the reading rush. I've read all the challenges. I read even 7 books, so I also get a badge for reading 7 books. Yoo-hoo. I'm just gonna quickly recap the challenges and the books I read so far during this vlog. So the first challenge was to read a book that matches the color of your birthstone, and I'm born in October, so my birthstone was either opal or tourmaline, and I chose pink tourmaline, and therefore I read The Prince and the Dressmaker by Wang. For this challenge, I give this a 5 out of 5 stars. Now the next challenge was to read a book that starts with the word "the", and for that I read The Tea Dragon Society by Katie O'Neill. This was also a 5 out of 5 stars. And the third challenge was to read a book that inspired a movie you've already seen, and I read The Shameless Daughter, Skammerens by Lene, Kaaberbøl, and I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. The 4th challenge was to read a book that you touched first, and I read The Invasion by Peadar or Guilín, and I gave that one a 4 out of 5 stars as well. So I forgot to mention the 5th challenge, which is to read a book completely outside of your house, and I read How to Cheat a Dragon's Curse by Cressida Cowell, and I gave that one 4 out of 5 stars. And then I had to read a book in a genre that I wanted to read more of, and I chose classics, and that's why I read The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by author Conan Doyle. I gave this one also a 4 out of 5 stars. And then the last challenge is to read a book that is set on a continent different from where you live, and I live in Europe, so I chose That Blue Sky Feeling by Okura because it's set in Japan, hence Asia. And I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars as well. So this week I've read 2 5 stars and 5 4 stars. Pretty happy about that. I'm just happy that I read 7 books in 1 week. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this vlog. I'm gonna try editing all this together. This is my first time doing a vlog, so please be kind and maybe give me suggestions how to do things differently in the future. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I just said that. And see you next time. Bye!